Hello. Well, I shouldn't be shocked, and actually I'm not shocked, and yet I am shocked. And this is to do with Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. I suppose I should be calling him Lieutenant Colonel, shouldn't I? Anyway, he uploaded a video on his Facebook page on the 26th of August. It says here, lambasting the US military's decision when the country was present in Afghanistan and after it pulled out. He was complaining about the apparent lack of planning. I'm saying apparent, about the lack of planning and the dangers to life that the chaos presented. And then, after he had made this video, during which he publicly resigned from the service, he then, retired to an abandoned bus in, I keep forgetting, West Idaho or Indiana or somewhere like that, and kept on making videos about how the Afghanistan route was a disgrace and an embarrassment. Well, it is an embarrassment. I was embarrassed for America, even though I'm not American. It was so incredibly badly run. It was, and run is actually the best word to describe it. It was just a complete shambles. Well, yeah, I can say that without getting arrested because I'm not in the military. Now, I don't know whether they really do have the authority to arrest him, or whether they've cooked something up. But he reminds me very much, he puts me very much in mind of another person who, for the purposes of YouTube, I shall have to call Tony Randall. Some of you will know whom I mean here. And it's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? It's when the state makes a mess of something, when a public protection agency, in Britain it was the police and the local authorities, and in the case of this man, Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, it was the army and the White House, or the foreign policy section of the White House or something. But it's the same sort of people, and they are doing the same sort of thing to a man who throws everything out of his career in order to speak, and knowing that he's going to get the consequences. Now, in Britain, they actually tried to kill Tony Randall. They put him in a situation which was a danger to his life, and he survived only by being, almost mad with concentration of how to deal with his plight. And I don't know how Lieutenant Colonel Scheller is going to manage with this, and I don't know whether they're going to subject him to a similar regime of oppression and psychological torture. But I suppose they will give it a try. Fortunately, he's a Marine, isn't he? He's probably been trained how to deal with this. The funny thing is, he's been trained how to deal with this in a situation where he might be captured by a foreign enemy, not by his own people. But again, I've made a video about how Tony Randall got caught by his own people and felt a great deal. You could see in what he'd said, the feeling of betrayal he'd got from the authorities which should be protecting him, actually trying to murder him, or at least putting him in a position where he was likely to be murdered, and where he escaped murder only by strength of his own character. I don't want anyone to forget Tony Randall, even though I can't say his name. I think possibly you might have by this time gathered who he was. And I am just hoping that we won't have to make some sort of a substitution for Lieutenant Colonel Scheller in the same way, and whether he will become in newspapers that support the present democratic regime, whether they will start referring to him as far right or something similar and smearing him. And I think the problem in Britain was they could smear Tony Randall before anybody realised what was going on. In this case, it may be a good idea for people who might be listening to this to prepare for this in respect of Scheller, and stop them from doing it before they even start thinking about it. Of course, I've probably given them a hint now anyway. Yeah, but the two men are very similar, aren't they? And we might be able to save one if we couldn't save the other. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.